I never imagined, not in a million years, that I'd end up being the target of the wrath of our neighborhood's HOA president. But, well, here we are. Wild, right? Hey there, I'm Daniel. About 3 years back, I moved into a cozy little neighborhood called Sycamore Heights. This was right after I was in a pretty serious car accident, one that unfortunately left me with limited mobility in my right leg. Life had changed a lot for me by then, so I needed a place that would make day-to-day things just a bit easier. And honestly, Sycamore Heights seemed perfect at first glance. The streets were peaceful, the homes looked pristine and cared for, and most importantly, there was a wide driveway that could handle my specialized van, which I rely on to get around. I had no clue, not even a hint, that something as simple and reasonable as requesting a disabled parking sign would set off an absolute firestorm. That one sign ended up triggering none other than Linda Pearson, known by pretty much everyone around here as the resident Karen, though her real name was Linda, obviously. I did everything the right way, crossed all my T's, dotted all the I's, went through all the official channels, got full approval from the city for the disabled parking zone right in front of my house. Workers came by on a Tuesday morning and installed the sign. I was relieved. I thought that was it. But by Wednesday afternoon something caught my eye. The sign, it looked off. Kinda tilted. Slightly crooked. Weird, right? So I checked my security camera footage, and my jaw literally dropped. There she was, Linda, in her signature outfit. Spotless white capri pants and a pastel cardigan like she was headed to brunch, not a crime scene. She walked right up to the sign, cool as you like, and took a pair of garden shears to the metal pole. She cut it. Not even discreetly. She just went for it like it was some overgrown hedge. I decided to keep it civil. Sent her an email. Politely asked what was going on. Her reply came back almost instantly. And it was just unreal. That sign violates HOA aesthetic standards, she wrote. The board never approved that eyesore. Remove it immediately or face $50 daily fines. I explained, kindly I might add, that the city had approved it, and that under the Americans with Disabilities Act, city law trumps HOA rules. Her reply: not in Sycamore Heights, it doesn't. Seriously. That night I went to bed frustrated. And by morning the sign had been completely chopped down. This time my camera got everything clear as day. It was 5:30 a.m. and Linda, in full stealth mode, rolled up with an electric saw. Not only did she slice through the sign pole again, she looked directly into the camera, smirked, then just walked off. Like she was proud of it. Now listen, I need that parking spot. There are days when my pain gets so intense that even walking from the curb to the front door feels like climbing a mountain. So instead of getting into a messy back and forth, I tried something different. I sent another email. Calm, respectful. Hey, I noticed the sign's been damaged. I'm sure you had nothing to do with it, but just a heads up that I'll be reinstalling it per city ordinance. I even included links to all the relevant disability laws, just to be helpful. Her response: any new installation requires written HOA approval. Consider your request denied. In advance. What Linda didn't know was that I'm not just your average homeowner. I'm actually an attorney, and I specialize in property law. Mostly commercial, but trust me, I know HOA rules and residential codes like the back of my hand. I called a contact of mine over at the city planning office, explained the situation, and guess what? We've had problems with this HOA before, the woman said with a sigh. We'll reinstall the sign, free of charge. By Friday the new sign was back up. This time, I was ready. I angled my security cameras for full coverage, and with a little help from my neighbor, another one of Linda's victims, I even hid a motion-activated camera inside a birdhouse. Real covert stuff. And guess what happened Saturday morning? 6 a.m. on the dot, Linda showed up again. This time dressed in her little jogging outfit and holding a cordless reciprocating saw. I watched it all unfold live from my phone, barely believing it was happening again. Her face was tight with focus, absolutely determined, like she was on some kind of sabotage mission. But this time I had a backup plan. I'd already called the police non-emergency line the night before, gave them the whole rundown, and asked what I should do if she showed up again. So when I called 911 that morning, they knew exactly what was going on. 2 officers pulled up while Linda was still cutting through the sign. You should have seen her face when the patrol car rolled in, eyes wide, mouth open in shock. She actually tried to hide the saw behind her back. Like that would make it disappear. "Ma'am, what are you doing?" one of the officers asked, though honestly, it was pretty obvious. "Board inspection," Linda replied coolly. "This sign wasn't approved by the HOA Architectural Committee." She said it so confidently, I almost started to question myself. But then I walked out, phone in hand, showing them the live feed, the permit, and all the documentation. "Officers, this is the 3rd time she's vandalized my city-approved disabled parking sign," I told them. Linda kept insisting that her authority as HOA president overruled city law. But Officer Rodriguez, older guy, total straight shooter, told her calmly, "HOA rules don't override city ordinances or federal law, and they certainly don't give you permission to vandalize city property." They wrote her a citation for vandalism right there. That should have been the end of it, right? Fine, maybe a warning. Oh no, not for Linda. That same afternoon, every resident in our neighborhood got a mass email from the HOA board. It accused me of faking my disability, said I was abusing accommodations, and even attached pictures of me carrying groceries and walking my dog. Can you believe that? That crossed the line. I reached out to my doctor, contacted the city's Disability Resources Center, and looped in a colleague who handles discrimination and defamation cases. Then I filed for both an emergency injunction and a restraining order against Linda and the HOA board. 2 weeks later we were in court. Linda strutted in, looking smug in her navy blazer and pearls. She had the HOA's attorney with her. I represented myself. All I brought. Flash drive. That's all I needed. The moment I played the footage, the courtroom was dead silent. First clip, Linda with the garden shears. Second, electric saw and smug smile. Third, reciprocating saw, mid-vandalism, police confrontation and all. Then I pulled up the email where she accused me of faking my disability. Judge Michaels, a sharp, no-nonsense woman, just took off her glasses and stared. "Ms. Pearson, are you aware that tampering with a disability accommodation is a civil rights violation?" Linda's attorney tried to step in, no luck. "This court grants the restraining order. Ms. Pearson is to remain 50 feet away from the plaintiff's property at all times. I'm also issuing a $5,000 fine for civil rights violations and referring this case to the district attorney's office for possible criminal charges." Linda's face went ghost white. She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. "Additionally, I'm ordering Ms. Pearson to step down as HOA.